Steve from Custom Table Tennis, and we're going to bring you something. Well, when we say Friday special offer, this is an amazing Friday special offer. We don't know how long this is going to run for, but let me tell you a little bit about it's one of the Zebrano is one of my all-time favorite woods. Hence, if you see, have a look at that. That's a Zebrano egg out of a nice solid piece of Zebrano, nicely polished. And then we've got a nice piece of a Zebrano tea holder. Really is one of my favourite woods, as I've got a couple of these items around made of pure Zebrano. I'll get that out of the way now. It's just to give you an insight. Usually, this is a wood nut blade. I've seen when it was made. This is on offer, actually, with a Zebrano handle. So Zebrano, it's classed as exotic wood, and it comes from West Africa, and it's actually African for, as you can tell, zebra wood. Zebrano, zebra wood, call it which you will, but it's a very, very hard wood. This is going to be an offensive blade. The hardness is on the janker is 1,830, based on the janker that we use. So it's quite a hard. We've got a Kiriko wood in there, and then you can just pick out the carbon layers in there as well, which really stiffens it up, which means you're looking at an offensive blade. Blade size, as usual, 150 by 157. And then we'll have a look at the thickness. The thickness is around about 6.5, I believe. But we've managed to keep the weight down on these. So 6.6, so quite a thick blade. But I'll just put them on the weight, put a blade on the scales. We'll calibrate these. These are jewellery scales. They're usually absolutely spot on when they come on. You see there. There you go, 0.1 of a gram out, so they're not bad, are they? So weight of a flared, around about 80 plus or minus 3. They're going to be a little bit up and down because, as we've said before, wood is wood. And then the anatomic one's a little bit heavier, but that's just that particular one. And then finally we've got the 86. So if you want one that's particularly light or heavy, we can sort that out for you. But let's have a look at some dimensions. So the flared is at the narrow part about 27.3 going up to 33.6, and then the thickness is 25.39. So it's a nice feel. It is. You've got something in your hand. It's not like a skinny little flared. It's a nice feel. The straight one. So the straight on this is about 28. 28 by 23.73. So again, I don't think you'd be disappointed with the straight. Really is a nice straight. Fits. I could cope with that. Fits in my hand. And then the anatomic, if people get a little bit confused about the anatomic, what it is, there's a little bump. You can just about pick it out. Let's have a look. You can just about pick it out there. A little bump. It's very, very subtle. And when people say, oh, I don't like anatomic, if we've got no straights left, there really isn't that much difference. In fact, out of the two, I do prefer the anatomic. The little bump in your hand, and it fits in that hollow in your hand. Very, very popular with our lady customers, especially when we do a trade stand and they can try them. So let's have a look at this then. So, point where the bump is. Let's do the bump. So the bump is 28.69, moving up to near about 31.8. So very, very nice, very comfortable. Thickness that way, 24.78. So very, very nice. I really do like this wood. Just a point, we seal these blades. I'm going to show you. Don't normally do this, but because this is quite a dramatic, here's a bare wood version. And I'm just going to do one side. I'm not going to take forever on this. I've done separate videos to seal or not to seal. Have a look at that one. If you buy a blade from Custom Table Tennis, the blades are sealed. Excuse me. What that means is they're sealed for life. So when you take your rubbers off, and that's the glue that we use our own branded glue, which is a German glue, and it's a tensor rubber friendly. So the rubbers come off and you're not going to tear you back to pieces or your rubber. Just going to show you one side. If you do buy one of these, you don't have to buy this. I buy it. I use it because it's convenient. I can cut in with the sponge, and I've done thousands of bats over the years with this. So you have got to break the seal, because we have people going, oh, it don't work, but you've got to. What you've got to do, you just break the seal. And that's about as much out as you need. You're not lathering it to death, but just look how dramatic that is when the blade is sealed. It really brings out the grain. So we enjoy working with Zebrano. And then you just cut in there, down there. And then we always do the edges. What's the point of leaving the edges? That tends to be where they just get very, very soiled. Just run over it again. There you go. I'm just going to put that to one side, but look at the difference. It's dramatic. So we seal all our blades. Look at that. And that's protected for the life of the bat. Incidentally, it's just we're just a family-run business, Adam and I, and every bat is made to perfection. So I've got 40 years experience cutting. Adam's got 20 years experience cutting, so every bat is cut to perfection. So you've got 60 years experience cutting, so you don't get any jaggedy edges. We cut with a scalpel. We've done separate videos about this, how we make bats, but it's cut to perfection around there. If you cut with scissors, you get micro tears, and then you find that bits pop off very, very easily, where that edge, cut to perfection. So that's a little bit about the blade anyway. So what we're going to put on, what we're doing, we said Friday, not special. So this particular bat, it's got the Gambler Zero rubber. I'm going to peel that back a little bit for you so you can have a decent look at that. It's just mildly tacky. So you're going to be able to spin the ball very, very easily. So while the stocks last, we're going to give away the rubber. So you'll get this bat at the price of the blade. I've got a ball that you can reach. I'll just bounce it on there for you. What people don't realise though, when you've got a tacky rubber, so it's quite hard, so it's quite bouncy, but then when you take this off, I don't want to take it right off, it's tacky. The ball, there you go. A little bit of tack, nothing too much. It's nothing like, it's somewhere in between a European rubber and a Hurricane 3. And I'm not a massive fan of Hurricane 3. To my mind, it's a little bit sticky. You have to work hard with it or use tuners or whatever. We do sell it on these blades, but we think this is the sweet spot. Absolutely perfect. Could a beginner use this? Yes, they could with this rubber. Absolutely no reason why not. Beginner, intermediate, and then probably as you start moving up, you'll probably want some faster type of rubber. Let's have a look at the rubber. It's in the packet. Oh, by the way, everyone, you get your box, your presentation box, and then you get your card that'll tell you exactly, and then we'll date this before it goes out. So it tells you you've got the 0 on. We know the only rubber that we sell is 0, so we know that's the 0 rubber. It's an 82 gram blade, it's in flared, and the bat weight is 174 grams. So if you get one and you want it replicating, we'll do our best to get within a gram or two. So that'll go out in its box. What we normally do is we just start that for you there and pop that back down. That'll go out there. So let's have a look at the rubber that we're actually, while stocks last, giving away. So what we've got the Gambler Zero rubber, which is an inverted mechanical. And there, have a look at the back of that. So, yeah, stacked interactive coil molecule structure. It plays, as it says, just like a Japanese Neuro rubber. It leans more towards a Japanese Euro as opposed to a Chinese really sticky rubber where you can walk around with the ball stuck to it. Speed, that's there. Gambler, we like dealing with Gambler. The quality control in their stuff is extremely high. But the speed, don't compare that. Don't, whatever you do, go on to forums and look at speeds and spins. And because at the end of the day, the spin, okay, you can gauge the speed and the control. So you'd have to look at all the Gambler rubbers to see where this would fit in. And this is, as it says here, based on 1 to 100. But spin is so subjective. I mean, someone like me, I can't spin a ball to save my life, but somebody else can spin. So one of the things that we get, oh, what's your spinniest rubber? Yes, there's rubbers that will give you more spin, which tend to be tacky or very, very grippy like these. But at the end of the day, you're best off with some coaching to get the correct technique, because some players can spin it for fun without a really sticky rubber or grippy rubber. So this is our very special Friday offer while stocks last, and we'll see how this one goes. It's Steve from Custom Table Tennis. Hit the like and subscribe, and until next time, bye for now.